Hello and welcome. Right, imagine if you will, waking up one day, not with a start, but with a slow creeping inevitability and realizing your entire definition of home is a complete and utter fabrication, a construct, as flimsy as a paper lantern in the Isaan rainy season. You have not moved house, the walls are the same, however the software inside your head has been uninstalled and the new version does not recognize your old passwords. Comfort, familiarity, normal, all nonsense. Thailand, you see, specifically this dusty, glorious, stubborn, unassuming northeast corner of it, does not confront you. It does not argue. It simply disassembles you, brick by comfortable western brick. And this is not about travel. Good Lord, no. Travel is for tourists. This is about how a foreign land with a patience you do not possess can subtly yet profoundly kidnap your sense of identity and post it to a new address without telling you. The assault begins, of course, with the senses. It is not just the heat, a solid, tangible thing you wear like a damp waistcoat, or the symphony of smells like fish sauce, diesel and something sweetly rotting. It has the noise, a cacophony that to the Western ear sounds like pure chaos. Nevertheless, here is the first lesson. It is not chaos. It is just a different operating system. Your one, bred on queuing and indoor voices, keeps crashing. You will stand there, a pal, sweating monument to confusion, trying to buy a mango. You will offer money. The vendor will smile, take it, and then hand you the mango and the change, without having a shouty conversation with her neighbour, all without breaking eye contact with you. There is a transaction, but it is wrapped in layers of social glue you cannot see. You learn that a smile here is not just happiness, it is a tool, a shield, a greeting, an apology. Your ingrained binary code, truth, false, happy, angry, starts to flicker. On top of that, the amenities. Forget your instant gratification. The water goes off, the power fouls just as you are about to win an online argument about politics. Your precious routine, the bedrock of the Western mind, is revealed to be a house of cards in a light breeze. That erosion of home starts here with the quiet panic that nothing works as you demand it to. After the sensory riot comes a quiet, more devastating realization you are not the default setting for humanity. Your normal is a bizarre, highly specific local custom of a small, anxious peninsula called Europe. You see it in the collectiveness mindset. At first, it feels like a constraint. Why must I spend an hour greeting everyone before I can get to the point? Why is the group's harmony more important than my brilliant individual opinion? You chafe. Then, one day, you are ill. Then, without a word, a neighbour leaves a pot of soup at your gate. The taxi driver you see every week refuses your fare because you are a neighbour. You discover the freedom that exists without obligation. A safety net you never knew you were missing, and success. Back home, it is a pile of things. Here in my village, it is a different calculus. It is the health of your family. It is having time to sit with your friends. It is making merit. It is having enough, not having more. Watching a man beam with pride over a perfectly harvested rice stalk or a truly magnificent chicken. It rather takes the wind out of yourselves about your previous life's achievements, which largely involved making PowerPoint presentations slightly less terrible. So, you are broken down. What now? You learn the foreign arts, patience, not the virtue, but the survival skill. You learn to watch, to see the negotiation in a marked silence, the no hidden in a yes, but maybe later. You stop charging at life like a bull at a gate. You sit, you wait. The world happens around you, and for the first time you actually see it. Resilience in simplicity. When the scooter gets a flat, it is not a crisis. It is a 30-minute social event involving 3 uncles, a bamboo stick and sweet milky tea. The obsession with fixing it now evaporates. The problem will be solved or it will not, and life will continue in a different shape. It is infuriating, then miraculously it is liberating. Furthermore, your eyes, they change. Your aesthetic, polished on gleaming cities and manicured countryside, gets a software update. You stop seeing a rustic shack and start seeing a masterpiece of practical engineering, raised for floods, orientated for breeze, patched with lovely ingenuity. You find breathtaking beauty not in pristine perfection, but in the raw, aesthetic life of a thing. A weathered spirit house laden with offerings, the chaotic, glorious mess of a street-side kitchen producing food of sublime taste. It is the beauty that works. That means something. It gets under your skin. Besides, this is where the real mischief happens, the internal earthquake. You ask yourself, where is home now? Is it back in England? You go for a visit. Is it familiar? Yes, somewhat. However, it feels thin, rushed. People talk about things that seem suddenly trivial. You get irritated by the orderly queues because you miss the gentle organic scrums of the market. You crave the taste of cow soy noodles more than the Sunday roast. Your internal landscape has been terraformed. You realise with a shock that you have become a slightly grumpy hybrid creature. You complain about the heat incessantly, but defend Thai Sanook fun with the fervent of a convert. You find English bureaucracy incomprehensibly rude, yet still think 7 a.m. is far too early for loudspeaker announcements about the village lottery. You are a walking contradiction, permanently homesick for 2 places at once, never fully belonging to either. Nevertheless, here is the secret it took me years to admit. Home stops being a pin on the map. It becomes a feeling, the feeling of being understood in your fractured hybrid way. It is the community which tolerates your odd Farang habits. It is the values you have absorbed, the importance of a cool heart, of making merit of a shared meal. Home is the smell of that jasmine rice before the storm. It is a new centre of gravity. So does it stick? Oh yes. Even if you leave, which I have not. The thought of shoveling English snow again is frankly horrific. The filter is permanent. You view everything through this dual lens. Your patience is greater. Your definition of a problem is forever shrunk. Your understanding of what makes a good life is broader, deeper and less fragile. Thailand, particularly my Isaan, did not give me a new identity. It gave me a more complex one. It added rooms to my house. It taught me that belonging is not about where you are from, but where you are allowed and allow yourself to grow. I am, and I always will be, a grumpy old Englishman. I just happen to be a grumpy old Englishman who now knows 17 ways to cook sticky rice, who finds profound peace in the sound of a temple gong at dusk, and who finally understands that home was never a place I left, but a feeling I had to learn how to find. Now then, I rambled enough. Your turn. Down in the comments, tell me, what is the one thing that surprised you by becoming part of your new normal? Was it the peace in the chaos? The taste for fermented fish? The inability to tolerate loud, impatient people anymore? Go on, let us compare notes. What's more, if you have not had this experience yet, well, perhaps it is time to let a new country start taking your own old software apart. Thanks for listening. Now hit that like button, and it is a goodbye from me. Bye bye.